everybody, welcome to this edition of Tips and Techniques with Tammy. If you're anything like me, you haven't made your holiday cards yet. And because it's quickly approaching, I thought that we'd take today and just make a few quick and easy cards that you can whip out while you're watching TV tonight and get them out to your neighbors. I know that I always feel pressure to make cards. I don't know if it's because everybody knows that I'm a scrapbooker and expects some fabulous thing in the mail from me or not, but I do this to myself every year and I wait till the last minute. I prefer to look at it as I work better under pressure, but I usually am scrambling at the last minute to make cards, so I thought I'd whip up a few really easy ones that you can accomplish in no time, and then you can get them in the mail and not have to stress about it anymore. So we'll just make a few of the cards that I have here just really quickly, and then the ones that we don't make, I'll put samples of sample pictures up for you to take a look at because they're pretty self-explanatory. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I love making cards. I'm going to show you a bunch of different kinds. If you want to make them all the same, that's great if that's what you like to do, because it is easier a lot of times because you can just kind of do an assembly line type production. But if you don't, this will give you hopefully a few ideas of a couple things you can make that are really easy. What I have done is, whenever I have cardstock scraps, I cut all the odd edges off and make them into nice uniform, pieces all with straight edges, no punches out of them or anything. And then I take this typical card size, which I believe, let me measure it here for you real quick, but it is about 8 inches by 5.5 inches, these strips. And I cut all of my cardstock scraps down to this size. So when I'm ready to make a card, I can go pull out my stash and I've got this nice selection of colors and they're all pre-cut for me, so it makes creating cards a lot faster. You can just do that one night when you're sitting down to watch a movie or something. Just whip out your cutter and all your scraps, and then you'll have easy access to make cards. So what I did is we're going to start off with this joy card. I took a piece of oatmeal cardstock. I grabbed it because I already had it pre-cut, folded it in half, punched out some large green circles. These are a 1.5 inch, I believe, circle. I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back here. Pop those down onto my card down in the lower right hand corner. I've got a chipboard heart from Heidi Swapp. Again, I said I am just using whatever I happen to have on hand. So if you don't have chipboard hearts, I bet you've got a punch that's a heart shape. Just go ahead and grab one. I'm going to take the letters J and Y just from a sheet of letter stickers that I've been using a lot and happen to have those letters. And if you're making a bunch of these, I'm sure you've got a bunch of alphabet sheets that you can just use random letters off of to kind of help use those up. I'm going to stick those letters down on there. And then just to give it a little extra dimension, I'm just going to grab a glue dot and pop a button right in the middle of that heart. And there you go. You've got a cute joy card. Just write your message on the inside, stick a picture in there, and you're all set to go. Next, I thought we'd make this fun, kind of funkier card. Again, I just kind of like to use up my scraps, and make something a little not so traditional all the time. This one is, again, super easy. I'm just going to move this out of the way so I have room to work here. I'm just going to take a scrap piece of paper. You can tell that I've been doing other things with it. I'm going to grab my scissors and cut just a random triangle shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can be any size. I'm going to take my pre-folded pink card, and then I have this little scrap of blue paper. I'm going to just cut a freehand trunk for the tree. Put some adhesive on there. My adhesive is being kind of funny on me here. So let's try a different one here. Put some adhesive on there. Stick that down. This is kind of more of a Dr. Seuss looking Christmas card. I'm going to take a glue dot. I've just got a random, I have a little jar that I keep all of my acrylic embellishments in that are just kind of leftovers. I found this little purple flower. I'm just going to use that as my tree topper. And to add a little extra color, I'm just going to take an orange rhinestone and stick it in the middle of that flower on the top of the tree. I've got some adhesive backed rhinestones I'm just going to take in different colors, and just on these polka dots just pop a few down, different sizes, different places, just to kind of add a little bit of bling to your card. Makes it a little more fun. And then, to soften the edges on this a little bit, I'm using just a white ink pad. I'm just going to run it along the edge of the card, and you don't have to do this step. I just did it because I thought that it kind of made it look fun. Run that around a couple times, and you can see it's just a really light addition. Doesn't change the look a whole lot, but makes it have a little more texture to it. So that is another super easy card. If you wanted it to have even more texture and be a little more funky, you could do something like a paper clip for the trunk instead of the paper. Whatever you want to do, just have fun with these. Okay, so that's number 2. We're working quickly here. And this one is another one that I really think is cute and a little bit different. You can use this for any time of the year if you want. Well, I guess in the winter would be best since it's a snowflake, but that's the other thing I love about these cards, is that you can really adapt them to fit any theme or occasion that you have. I mean, this is a snowflake, but if you wanted to replace that, if you had a rhinestone flower or something like that, would be great for a thank you card or a thinking of you card or something along those lines. So I've again taken my pre-cut and folded card. I'm just going to take my square punch. I like to flip this over so I can see exactly where it's going to make sure that it's pretty well centered. I'm just going to pop that out to make a little window. I'm going to take a scrap of black paper that I have laying around and punch a black square. Take my adhesive, run some on the back of this black square, and then to line it up right with the window, I'm just going to kind of, as I put it down, here, let me see if I can show you this really well. I'm just going to kind of lay it down underneath. Now see, I got it all crooked because I'm trying to do it here a little bit backwards for me. And I'm just going to kind of work it into that window so that you can tell that when the card's closed, that's what you're going to see. And then just take your rhinestone shape and stick it right onto that square. Now these rhinestone shapes, can be a little bit pricier, but again, if you've got them in your stash and you're not using them for anything, then they're great for cards. And also, when you think about the cost of buying a card at the store, even if you're using an embellishment that's a little bit more expensive, you're still coming out way ahead with the cost of your card. And it looks really fun. So there's card number 3.